राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे जहाँ राउंड सॉरी करवा कंटिन्यू ड्रामा टीम को डाकी दियो तळु हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे कृष्णपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे मौलवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे श्रील प्रभुपाद की हरे कृष्णा जे जेमती बसथिले बसी पड़ंतु माताजीस प्रभुजीस now we'll have the ecstatic drama performance by Goranga Kids.
सादर प्रणाम। आने वाले श्री विद्यानंद प्रभु के आविर्भाव दिवस के शुभ अवसर पर हम विनम्र प्रयास के रूप में एक छोटा सा ड्रामा प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं जिसका शीर्षक है श्री विद्यानंद महाप्रभु द किंग ऑफ कंपैशन। कलयुग में जीव अपनी असली पहचान और कृष्ण से अपना नित्य संबंध को भूल चुका है। नाम, रूप और भोग के पीछे भागते हुए वे अपने उद्धार के मार्ग से दूर होता जा रहा है।
हरे कृष्णा समझते टिक्के साइलेंट इबारियो पूरा साइलेंट इबारियो प्लीज हमें भी ड्रामा स्टार्ट करेगा।
कलयुग में जीव अपनी असली पहचान और कृष्ण से अपने नित्य संबंध को भूल चुका है। नाम, रूप और भोग के पीछे भागते हुए वे अपने उद्धार के मार्ग से दूर होता जा रहा है। शास्त्र स्पष्ट रूप से बताते हैं कि इस युग में मुक्ति का सरल और एकमात्र मार्ग है हरि नाम का उच्चारण। तो मेरे साथ कहिए, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। तीर्थ यात्रा यात्रा के बाद श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु नवद्वीप आए। जब श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु निमाई पंडित के रूप में नरलीला कर रहे थे, महाप्रभु ने नित्यानंद प्रभु को बलदेव तत्व आदि गुरु के रूप में प्रकट किया और नित्यानंद प्रभु ने महाप्रभु को श्री कृष्ण के गौरंग रूप के रूप में जाना। इसी समय श्री अद्वैत आचार्य ने नित्यानंद प्रभु की व्यास पूजा करके यह स्थापित किया कि आदि गुरु नित्यानंद प्रभु के बिना गौर भक्ति के प्रसार संभव नहीं।
प्रणाम महाप्रभु। प्रभु, मेरा ये जीवन आज सफल हो गया। स्वयं आदि गुरु मेरे घर में प्रकट हुए हैं। मेरा ये जीवन धन्य हो गया प्रभु, धन्य हो गया।
आचार्य जी, आप वरिष्ठ वैष्णव हैं। मुझे आपसे प्रणाम स्वीकार नहीं हो सकता, ये उचित नहीं है।
नहीं प्रभु, आप तो विनम्र हैं, पर शास्त्र का सिद्धांत को बदला नहीं जा सकता। आप श्री बलराम हैं, आदि गुरु, जिनके बिना कृष्ण भक्ति का मार्ग खुलता ही नहीं।
अद्वैता, ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो?
प्रणाम महाप्रभु। हे महाप्रभु, मैं तो बस आज शास्त्र में लिखी हुई आदेश पालन कर रहा हूँ महाप्रभु।
वैष्णवों, ध्यान से सुनो। चैतन्य चरितामृत स्पष्ट कहता है, गुरु कृष्ण रूपे हना शास्त्रेर प्रमाणे, अर्थात गुरु स्वयं कृष्ण के प्रतिनिधित्व करते हैं। और यह भी सत्य है, हमारा गुरु परंपरा का प्रारंभ आदि गुरु से ही हुआ है। यह वही नित्यानंद है जो मेरे लिए मेरे शरीर के समान है। जैसे कृष्ण की लीला बलराम के बिना अधूरी है, ठीक उसी प्रकार नित्यानंद के बिना मेरी लीला संपूर्ण नहीं हो पाएगा।
प्रभु, मैं तो बस एक दास हूँ। अगर मेरी पूजा करने से पतितों का आशा मिलता है तो मैं यह आपकी सेवा समझ के स्वीकार करता हूँ प्रभु।
इसके पश्चात हम नित्यानंद प्रभु की अनेक लीलाओं में से एक लीला ऐसा प्रस्तुत करने जा रहे हैं जिनमें उनका करुणा रूप दिखाया गया है। चैतन्य चरितामृत और चैतन्य भागवत बताते हैं कि नवद्वीप में दो भाई थे, जगाई और मधाई। जन्म से ब्राह्मण होते हुए भी वे मदिरा, हिंसा और पाप में डूब चुके थे। कलयुग के जीव जैसे हो सकते हैं, जगाई और मधाई भी उनका जीवंत रूप था।
हाँ भाई जगाई,
कौन हमारा शिकार बनेगा?
जो भी सामने आएगा, ये सारा संसार हमारा है, ये सारा शहर हमारा है। ए स्त्री,
क्या है मेरे पास?
दे हमें, दे,
छोड़ दो। मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है।
दे।
दे हमें। छोड़ दो।
जगाई मधाएगी, आक्रमण से तुम्हें कोई नहीं बचा सकता। दे हमें, जो भी है मेरे पास, दे हमें।
कुछ नहीं है मेरे पास।
दे हमें।
जगाई मधाई, भागो यहाँ से।
ए लड़का, रुक। यार, तू दास है हमारा, जो हम बोलेंगे वही करेगा। तो
हरिदास, इन्हें हरिनाम की बहुत ही आवश्यकता है। हमें इन्हें हरिनाम अवश्य बुलवाना चाहिए।
परंतु प्रभु, ये कोई साधारण सा नहीं लग रहे हैं। इन्हें हरिनाम देना असंभव सा प्रतीत हो रहा है।
हरिदास, हमें महाप्रभु ने यह आज्ञा दिया है कि हर एक जीवात्मा को हम हरिनाम बुलवाएं, और पापियों को तो अवश्य ही बुलवाना है। जिसका जितना अधिक रोग है, दवाई तो भी उसके लिए उतना ही जरूरत है ना।
परंतु फिर भी ये इतना आसान नहीं लग रहा है प्रभु।
हरिदास, वो अगर हरिनाम ना भी ले तो हम उन्हें सुना तो सकते हैं।
हरे कृष्णा जप हरे कृष्णा श्री हरि का नाम ले। भज हरे कृष्णा जप हरे कृष्णा ये श्री हरि का नाम ले। जग के सारे नामों में, जग के सारे नामों में आए तेरे नाम ले। भज हरे कृष्णा जप हरे कृष्णा ले श्री हरि का।
अरे भाई मधाई, रोज संत आए हैं हमें सुधारने।
भाइयों, मेरा बात सुनो। हरि का नाम ले लो, एक बार हरि का नाम ले लो।
चले जाओ यहाँ से, अपने ज्ञान की वाणी और किधर दिखाओ। हमें अपने ज्ञान की वाणी मत सुनाओ।
देखिए, आप क्रोधित मत होइए। महाप्रभु का आज्ञा है कि हर किसी को हरिनाम बुलवाना है और हरिनाम ही परम धन है और यही हमें तारने वाला है। भगवान कृष्ण ही हमारे सर्वस्व हैं। इसलिए एक बार अपने मुख से हरि का नाम ले लीजिए। मेरे साथ बोलिए हरि का नाम। एक बार हरि का नाम ले लो।
निकल जाओ यहाँ। तुम्हें तो
देखिए, मैं तुम्हें विनम्र विनती करता हूँ, एक बार हरि का नाम ले लो। चाहे तुम मेरा प्राण ही क्यों ना ले लो, एक बार हरि का नाम ले लो।
तुम्हें इतने बार बोलने से तुम नहीं समझ रहे हो। जगाई इस जैसे लोगों को कैसे दंड देना है ये मुझे भली भांति प्रतीत है। समाप्त कर दो इसे, समाप्त कर दो। और लो हरि का नाम। जो भी हरि का नाम लेगा तो मुझे तो वैसा ही हाल है। इस दृष्टि कोई सर्वश्रेष्ठ हो ही नहीं सकता।
एक बार हरि का नाम ले लो।
समझ नहीं आता तुझे।
रुक जाइए महाप्रभु, आप ऐसा ना करें। आप पतितों का उद्धार करने के लिए ऐसा आरोप अवतरित हुए हैं। आप इन्हें दंडित ना करें। आप तो प्रेम धन बांटने के लिए आए हैं। इन्हें कृपया दंड ना करें। ये तो अबोध है। ये मदिरा के नशे में ये सब किए हैं। कुछ पे विचार करके नहीं किए हैं। इन्हें क्षमा कर दीजिए। अगर इनका उद्धार नहीं हुआ तो मेरी करुणा का क्या लाभ। इन्हें क्षमा कर दीजिए महाप्रभु।
नहीं, तुमने आज नित्यानंद को नहीं बल्कि मुझे ठेस पहुंचाए हो। नित्यानंद मेरे लिए मेरी जान से भी अधिक प्रिय है। अगर तुम्हें क्षमा चाहिए तो स्वयं नित्यानंद के चरण में आश्रित हो, वही तुम्हारा उद्धार कर सकते हैं।
परम करुणा पाहु दुई जना पिता गौरचम।
नित्यानंद हमें क्षमा करें प्रभु। हम दोनों पति आपको पहचान नहीं पाए प्रभु। हम तो करुणा के सागर हैं प्रभु। हमें कृपया क्षमा करें प्रभु, क्षमा करें प्रभु।
देखो, उठो। तुम्हें क्षमा मांगने जरूरत नहीं है। ये परिस्थिति मैंने ही बनाया ताकि तुम्हारा ही कल्याण हो सके, ताकि तुम हरिनाम ले सको। महाप्रभु, अगर आप इन पर तभी कृपा करेंगे जब मैं इन्हें क्षमा कर दूं, तो मैं नित्यानंद अपने जन्म जन्मांतर के सभी पुण्य को जगाए मधाई को देता हूँ। हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे, कृष्णा, कृष्णा कृष्णा, हरे हरे, हरे राम, राम राम, हरे हरे। महाप्रभु, ये आप ही के लिए हैं, कृपया इन्हें स्वीकार करिए।
नित्यानंद, आज तुम्हारी कृपा से इन जगाई और माधाई का हृदय परिवर्तन हुआ है। आज मुझे भली बातें ज्ञात हो गया। इस कलयुग में पतितों का उद्धार केवल आपकी दया से ही हो सकता है।
नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णाय कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामे गौरकिसे नमः।
इसी तरह जगाई और मधाई जैसे पतित जनों का उद्धार देखकर यह स्पष्ट होता है कि चाहे कलयुग कितना भी अंधकार से भरा हुआ क्यों ना हो, महाप्रभु की करुणा का द्वार कभी बंद नहीं होता। जगाई और मधाई का उद्धार उनकी योग्यता, तपस्या या ज्ञान का बल पर नहीं हुआ, बल्कि श्री गुरु और गौरांग की अहेतुकी कृपा से संभव हुआ। कलयुग में जीव के पास ना कठोर तपस्या करने का समर्थ है, ना शुद्ध ज्ञान प्राप्त करने की शक्ति, पर जीव के पास एक ही आश्रय है, श्री गुरु की शरण। जब गुरु कृपा करते हैं तब वही हरि नाम को जीव के मुख से अशुद्ध रूप में निकलता है, धीरे धीरे हृदय को शुद्ध कर देता है। नित्यानंद महाप्रभु जो कि स्वयं गुरु तत्व है, उनके चरणों की शरण से लेने से चैतन्य महाप्रभु की कृपा बनती है और महाप्रभु की कृपा से श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण की शुद्ध प्रेम भक्ति जीव के हृदय में प्रकट होती है। तो चलिए बोलिए श्रीमन चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, श्री नित्यानंद महाप्रभु की जय, श्री नित्यानंद त्रयोदशी महाउत्सव की जय, संवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। तो इस ड्रामा के किरदार है प्रीति प्रज्ञा माता जी आज चैतन्य महाप्रभु, गुनगुन माता जी आज नित्यानंद प्रभु, सुदेशना माता जी आज हरिदास ठाकुर, रश्मिका माता जी आज अद्वैत आचार्य, श्रेया माता जी आज जगाई, सुभाषिनी माता जी आज मधाई, भक्त अनुभव and सागरिका माता जी आज devotee, and Rama team, Hari Grace Panchali Devi Devsi माता जी, प्रज्ञा माता जी, पलक माता जी, सास्वतिका माता जी, सोनाली माता जी, and सुप्रिया माता जी, and me as narrator.
Inspired him, motivated him, instructed him to keep this chanting on all over the world, and he is doing it now also. So we are very fortunate to have Prabhuji and his good wife, Kanta Vishnu Priya Mataji. So Mataji will give a class to the new Matajis. Whoever are new today, how many Matajis are new today? Yeah, you have a good opportunity to hear from Mataji in Nityananda Hall. Also Nityananda Vansha 2. Nityananda Vansha 2 and new Matajis will go upstairs now. Nityananda Vansha 2 and new Matajis will go upstairs and they...
There's a way I do that. But if everybody's leaving...
Okay, Prabhuji is saying in 15 minutes, can she return in 15 minutes?
Make it 10. Make it quick. Then come down.
Okay, Panchali Mataji, Prabhuji is telling that while Prabhuji is speaking, she plays Casio. So that's why the class will be short. In 15 minutes, we have to wind up. Yeah, and then she will come here and the class will continue here.
Okay.
In 15 minutes, we wrap up there.
Okay.
So as everybody knows, His Grace JivaNath Prabhu, today he is our very special speaker, and he shares the Prabhupada's pastime so beautifully that we would just like to be with Srila Prabhupada all the time. And Prabhuji inspires so much that we never feel like that Krishna consciousness is boring. Krishna consciousness is full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of love and happiness. And Prabhuji is very beautifully doing it since many, many years and decades. We are very fortunate to have His Grace JivaNath Prabhuji with us. Haribol! Although Prabhuji does not like Haribol songs.
There's a story behind that though. And I'll tell it since you mentioned it. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for staying here. And if I can keep you awake, I'll tell one story first about keeping awake during a class. I was in Mayapur for the Appearance Day celebration of Jananivas Prabhu. Everybody's heard of Jananivas? Very amazing devotee. And we're on a stage, and there's probably maybe 500 people there because there was some yatra as well that was in Mayapur at the time. So they asked me to say something about Jananivas. Now, my relationship with Jananivas is very familiar. In other words, if you see Jananivas, all of you probably do the, pranams, bow, get down on the ground. It's Jananivas. He's a special, special soul. When I see him, I joke around with him because he's my godbrother. And I like to see him smile. I like to see him laugh. So I always joke around with him. So when I was doing this speech about Jananivas, up on stage, in front of all the Vaishnav devotees, probably about 500 were gathered. And I said, when I got to Mayapur, and I was asked to give a class, a Srimad Bhagavatam class, I thought the goal of my class is to keep Jananivas awake during the class. Because Jananivas used to sleep during every single Bhagavatam class. Every class. And I always used to think he actually plans his nap for 8 o'clock in the morning because he's tired, he gets up so early. And I would see him sleep during the class. And I'm thinking, oh, he's such a great soul. Like, nobody wakes him because it's JivaNath. Let him have a nap. So I thought, when I get to Mayapur and give a class, I don't want him having a nap. So I would say some funny things to keep him awake. And that was my goal. In that first class I gave, he stayed awake the entire class because I was just telling funny Prabhupada stories, devotee stories, and he stayed awake. Now, I said that on stage in front of 500 people who worship JivaNath as special because he is. And they were saying, you can't say that about JivaNath, he falls asleep. I said, but he does fall asleep. He knows it. And he came up and gave me a big hug. So I'm hoping that I can repeat my performance today by keeping everybody awake. That's my goal. If I say something interesting or something that motivates you, that's all the better. But my goal is to make sure nobody falls asleep. Okay? So if I raise my voice. And there's another trick to keeping people awake in a class that I learned a long time ago. If I see somebody, like, just say this fellow up here, starts to fall asleep and I see it, and I would say, Amritesh Gaur. Oh, you're talking about me? Immediately you wake up. Oh, somebody's mentioning my name. That's amazing. I'll listen to this class. So I don't know your names, but hopefully just what I say keeps you awake. What was I going to say, the first one? I forget already.
About Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, thank you. Yes, thank you, Amritesh Kaur Prabhu. Hari Bol. So devotees, when they first went to Sri Dham Mayapur, and this is back in early 70s, 1970s, they came back from Mayapur, and everybody was chanting Hari Bol. We never chanted Hari Bol prior to going to West Bengal, Mayapur, for the Gaur Purnim festival. Nobody chanted Hari Bol. Now, if you don't hear a kirtan end in Hari Bol, it's like, hey, come on, what's wrong with you? You didn't finish the kirtan with Hari Bol. So we all chant Hari Bol. So we were a little confused. So they went to Srila Prabhupada, and they said, Srila Prabhupada, in West Bengal, everybody chants Hari Bol. But we don't. Why? And Prabhupada said, let them chant Hari Bol. I will chant Hare Krishna and go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna.
This is just some trivia. I asked Hari Sari and Shrutakirti, two of his Prabhupada's servants. I said, did you ever hear Srila Prabhupada say Hari Bol? Now, I thought that was a pretty, interesting question, because we say it as greetings, and nobody, says, what? Hari Bol, Prabhu, Hari Bol, no problem. But did Prabhupada ever say it? What do you think? Yes? No? No, he never did. He never said Hari Bol. But apparently Lord Chaitanya did. He yelled Hari Bol a few times. So Hari Bol is okay, just so you know. I'm not trying to put any negative spin on Hari Bol. Hari Bol is okay, but better to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Now,
Probably in between we think, I think they need some audio translation.
Right.
After each story, I can tell a brief.
Oh, great. Okay, it gives me time to load up for the next one. Go ahead.
So, Prabhuji कहूଥିଲେ जे जेतळे प्रभुजी मायापुर क्लास ପାଇଁ ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟ କଲେ ତାକୁ ସେ କ୍ଲାସ ଦେଲେ ପ୍ରାୟ ପ୍ରଭୁजी ଦେଖନ୍ତି ଯେ ଆମର ପ୍ରଭୁପାଦଙ୍କର ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଶିଷ୍ୟ ଅଛନ୍ତି ବହୁତ ପ୍ରିୟ ଜନନିବାସ ପ୍ରଭୁ ସେ ଦେଖନ୍ତି ଯେ ସେ କ୍ଲାସ ଦେଲା ମାନେ ଘୁମେଇ ପଡନ୍ତି ତ ସେ ଭାବିଲେ ବୋଧେ ପ୍ରଭୁଜି ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିକି ଆସିଥାନ୍ତି କ୍ଲାସ ବେଳେ ହିଁ ଘୁମେଇବାର ଅଛି ତାଙ୍କୁ କିନ୍ତୁ ବାସ୍ତବରେ ସେ ନୁହଁ ସେ ବହୁତ ଜଲ୍ଦି ଉଠନ୍ତି ତ ପ୍ରଭୁଜି କହିଲେ ମତେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କ୍ଲାସ କରିବାକୁ କ୍ଲାସ ଦେବାକୁ କହିଲେ ମୁଁ କହିଲି ମୋର କ୍ଲାସର ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଲ ହେଲା ଯେମିତି ଜନନିବାସ ପ୍ରଭୁ ଶୋଇବେନି ତ ସମସ୍ତେ କହିଲେ ସମସ୍ତେ କ୍ଲାସ ପରେ ଆସିକି କହିଲେ ଯେ ତମେ ଜନନିବାସ ପ୍ରଭୁଙ୍କ ନାଁରେ କାହିଁ ଏତେ କଥା କହିଲ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଏତେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ସମ୍ମାନ କରନ୍ତି ମାୟାପୁରରେ ତାଙ୍କ ବିଷୟରେ ଏମିତି କହିବା କ'ଣ ଠିକ୍ ହେଲା प्रभुजी कहले मोर किसी भूल है से क्लास सरला पर आसी जननिवास प्रभु तांको गोटे बहुत टाइट एम्ब्रेस देले हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण सो देन आई टोल्ड हरि बोल सो तापर प्रभुजी कहले गोटे स्टोरी हरि बोल कहीं कहवा कथा नु आम मैंने कही पार अवश्य किंतु प्रभुजी कहले गोटे पास्ट टाइम जे शिल प्रभुपादकर आउ किछि शिष्य मानकु सुतकृति प्रभु आ हरिशौरी प्रभु को प्रभुजी पचारे जे हरि बोल केबे तुम शुणिच प्रभुपाद कहबार तो से कहते जे से मैंने प्रभुपाद कटू केबे भी हरि बोल कहबार शुणुना केबे भी शुणुना तापरे प्रभुजी कहले ताले प्रभुजी महाराज प्रभुजी माने शिल प्रभुपाद कौन कहती सब से कहती हरे कृष्णा प्रभुपाद कहती लेट देम से हरि बोल वी विल चैंट हरे कृष्णा एंड गो बैक टू गॉड हेड शिल प्रभुपाद कहले जे से माने हरि बोल कहथांतु आमे माने हरे कृष्ण जप करबा आ भगवत धाम चली जीवा तो एटा शिल प्रभुपाद कहथिले आउे प्रभुजी कहले किंतु चैतन्य महाप्रभु हरिबोल बेले बेले कही तो से आपण मैंने हरिबोल कहींपर मु किसी नेगेटिव स्पिरिट तुम मानक दवाक चाहूनी हरे कृष्णा
So as we know, the mind is very flickering, which means it goes from one topic to another, one thought to another. So I'm sitting here thinking, and so many different thoughts are coming through my head that remind me of stories. But there was one I really wanted to tell. Now, this is basically because I have a firm belief in the power of the holy name. And I hope everybody else does too, because if you only have that, you can go back to Godhead. If you really believe that there's no difference between chanting Hare Krishna and Krishna himself, you can go back to Godhead, simply with that belief. So I'll tell you a story about the potency and the power of the holy name. Do you want to break it up? Or
No, we'll just whole story.
One whole story, okay. So in Los Angeles in 1971, the devotees did a lot of Harinam Sankirtan. And basically that was the service for all devotees who lived in the temple, Harinam Sankirtan. And the spot they used to go to was the best spot in Los Angeles for people being around, so that people would hear the holy name. But unfortunately, it was outside this one man's store. It was a busy intersection, but he had a store there. And he got very upset because he thought, these weird-looking people are standing outside my store. I'm going to lose business. So he would come out and say, go, get out of here. I don't want you standing here. And the devotees would just go, yeah, Hare Krishna. That's what we do. Just, we don't care what you say. We're chanting Hare Krishna. So they would keep chanting. And then the man becomes very angry. I'm losing business. You're wrecking my store business. Go away. He would call the police. And the police would come. And they would say, you guys, the man of this shop wants you to leave. You're wrecking his business. Can you please move on? And the devotees, because it's the police, would say, okay, all right, so we're sorry, we'll go somewhere else. And they go chanting, walk away, around the block, police is gone, they'd come back. Same spot. And start chanting again. Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The man is now really getting angry. I called the police. I asked you nicely. I yelled at you. I called the police. What's wrong with you people? Go away. Calls the police again. Police come. We told you you have to leave here. Oh, sorry, officer, we misunderstood you. We thought you meant just walk around the block and come back. The policeman's looking at him, okay, go. So they leave. Not so bad, right? So you get yelled at by the police, the store yells, so what? Next day, it's the best spot. Where do the devotees go? Same place. Of course. We don't learn the right way, we learn slowly. So they go and they start chanting. And the man is like, he's looking out, goes into his store, and he comes out with a tray full of cups of lemonade. lemon juice on a tray to offer to the devotees. And the head kirtan guy says, don't take it. It might be poisoned. The man says, no, it's not poison. He said, I just wanted to give you these. I'll tell you why. I went home last night and I was cooking my dinner. And all I kept hearing was, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he said, if that's not bad enough, I lie down to go to sleep, and all I'm hearing is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He said, and then I looked at my books. I did more business with you guys out here. So please come back again.
So
Can I get a drink? Thank you.
So प्रभुजी कहते मोर हरिनाम प्रति बहुत विशेष रुचि रही एवं मोर बहुत ताकत मु फील करे हरिनाम करिवारे गोटे स्टोरी कहते लॉस एंजल्स 1971 मसीहार तो कहते भक्त मैंने उत्साही पूर्वक जाई विभिन्न दुकान और बजार रे चप करती तो सेठी जाई गोटे दुकान आगे भक्त मैंने जाई कीर्तन कले तो कीर्तन करने समय रे से माने दुकानी आसी बारंबार कहता ये कीर्तन करनी मोर बिजनेस खराब कर तुम मैंने तो जमी बारंबार से दुकानी आसी कहला भक्त मैंने भाविले जे कौन करवा आम आउ तो से किसी समय कले तापर से पुलिस को डाकिला तापर पुलिस आसी कहला जो एम को जगह छाड़ी जावाक पड़ला गले एमाने गले गले आउ थे बजार बुली बुलिक आसी से पुणी आउ थे कीर्तन चलला तो से बिजनेस वाला पुणी आउ थे मैं दुकानी आउ थे मुंड खराब है तार जो एवं भगेली पुलिस आसते पुणी आउ थे कले तापर पुलिस पुणी डाकिला से पुलिस आसी कहले तुम मना कलु एबे कीर्तन करनी एठी बोली से कहले आमे भाविलु एबे करनी बुलिक आसी कले हबो तापर से कीर्तन चलला तापर से पुणी आउ थे तापर दिन से दुकान बंद है तो घर गला तो घर को आसी नेक्स्ट डे जो पुणी आसिले पुणी से कौटी कीर्तन कले कहले से ही दुकान सामना रे एथर किसी अलग है जे एथर कौन है ना से दुकानी निजे सी ट्रे रे सब माने ग्लास ले लेंबू सरबत आनिकी समस्त को पीऊँच समस्त भाविले भक्त मैंने बोधे एथर किसी विष विष मिसई थी पीओनी तो से कहला ना एथर विष मिसिनी एटा मु आपण को मोर कृतज्ञता दूची जे जेते बेले मु काली घर को गली घरे जाकि मो मन भितर खाली एई हरे कृष्ण कीर्तन खाली चली राति जाक मु खाली कीर्तन गाउची हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र मो भितर खाली गुंजी उठुला तो से मु बहुत आनंदित और मोर बेपार बहुत बढ़िया हाउ डिड द बिजनेस ग्रो द लास्ट लाइन आई कुड नॉट
He said he made more money the day that devotees were chanting than any other day.
से कहले जे जो आपण माने जो कीर्तन कले आज काली तो से मोर बिजनेस रे एक्चुअली मु देखिली प्रॉफिटटा मोर बहुत अधिक होइछि से मु आपण मानकु आउ थरे एटी कीर्तन करियो कहूछि आ जूस भी आपण को दउछि आनिली हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा थैंक यू
So that story is almost like Jagai and Madai. You had a shop owner who did not like devotees, and all of a sudden the mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, turned him into I like this mantra, I like you guys. So we just don't understand. We don't really understand just how powerful this Hare Krishna mantra is. We don't realize it. You know, if we did, we certainly would chant with a lot more intensity, wouldn't we? You know, just like if I said to you, if you buy lottery tickets every day for 3 months, you will get 100 crores. I guarantee it. Translate that. Thank you.
ए स्टोरी ए जो स्टोरीटा मु दुकान रे कीर्तन कथा कहली एटा आपनकर जो नित्यानंद प्रभु विशेष कृपा रिलेटेड थिला से मुझे शेयर कली जे ए हरिनाम रे एते महत्व रही जे आपन जदि याको जप करिवे यार कीर्तन करिवे ताले आपणकर एते लाभ हम जे आपण जदि 1000 लॉटरी टिकेट किणिकी भी किछि कोटी पाई थाते ए हरि नाम रे आपण आहुरी अधिक लाभ प्राप्त हेबे हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा
You would definitely do it, wouldn't you? There's no question. All right, it's a bit of a I'll have to believe you, but if I do this, I will get 100 crore. Sounds pretty good to me. So I'm telling you, if you chant Hare Krishna, you will go back to Godhead.
हुए तो आपण किछि कोटी प्राप्त हेई परिबे माने लॉटरी टिकेट किणिकी किछि आपण पैसा लाभ करि देबे किंतु ए जो हरि नाम जप करिवे आपण या द्वारा आपण भगवत धाम को फेरी जेबे
The problem is we can all relate to 100 crore. Wow. But back to Godhead, it's like it's what? Where? 100 crore? Back to Godhead?
आपण मैंने भावुवे बोधे मत लगुच हरि ये जो 100 कोटी टंका आपण बेसी मूल्यवान लगुव किंतु भगवत धाम जावा कौन बड़ कथा कि लगुन आपण मानक किंतु वास्तव में ए भगवत धाम जावाटा बड़ ना हरे 100 कोटी टंका बड़
And that's our problem, because most of our realizations are on the material level, material platform. I can understand 100 crore. I can understand a beautiful house, a beautiful wife, so many other opulences of the material world. But when the spiritual world is described to me, it's just kind of like, really? It's like almost out of my conception, because it is out of your conception.
हाँ एटा नेचुरल एटा स्वाभाविक जे आमे माने ए भौतिक जगतर विभिन्न पदार्थ एटा भल घर भल गाड़ी ए सब जिनस आमे जानी परिबा पैसा अछि हमर पैसा को आमे बेसी गुरुत्वपूर्ण देई परिबा कारण एटा आमे देखि पारछे ताको महसूस करि पारछे किंतु आध्यात्मिक जीवन रो कथा विषय रे कहिले से विषय वस्तु विषय रे कहिले आमे निश्चित भाबे जानी परिबानी कारण सेटा गोटा अन्य जगतर कथा
Srila Prabhupada said, just give this one life. Like, what have you got to lose? Let's say you have 1,000,000 births. Give one life to serving and loving, trying to love Krishna, and see what happens.
शिल प्रभुपाद भी कहते जे जदि तुम्हें भी किसी लॉस करू न ताले भाविकी देख जे गोटे मात्र जीवन देकी देख कृष्ण को जे केवल मात्र गोटे जीवन अनेक जन्म आमे तो करी आछे जहाँ आम इच्छा रोची किंतु गोटे जीवनटा कृष्ण को देखी देख
Now, it's interesting. I was thinking today about Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra. And we all know that, of course. You wouldn't be here if you didn't understand what it means and how important it was for Srila Prabhupada to stop this impersonalism and voidism. But he said in the Western countries.
मोर आज गोटे अनुभूति है विशेष शिल प्रभुपाद प्रणाम मंत्र ऑफकोर्स आपण मैंने जानी समस्ते ना ये आसी बस न था तो शिल प्रभुपाद प्रणाम मंत्र रे देखंतु कौन लिखाई निर्विशेष शून्यवादी आ केवल सेतिकी नुह जोटा कि पाश्चात्य देश रे मध्य
I'm worried about India.
किंतु मोर चिंता होची भारत रे कौन हबो
This is my home. This is who I associate with. Everybody here is, yeah, you're all from India.
आपण तो सब भारतीय एठी
That's a wild guess, but I think I got it. But I'm seeing so much impersonalism and voidism here in India, and that's really disturbing.
किंतु ए विशेष करी भारत रे मो बेसी निर्विशेष शून्यवाद देखुची आ ताको देखि मो बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो जाउची
And Srila Prabhupada made a point of stressing that that was something that bothered him.
और शिल प्रभुपाद मध्य एक कथाटी कहिसंती बहुत थर स्ट्रेस देकी जे काहे कि एबळे हेउची
And one interesting thing, here we have Krishna is a person. Yes, he's a person. He's the supreme personality of Godhead. And as we can see here, we are all persons as well. How is it that we have allowed impersonalism to creep into our association?
आ देखंतु कृष्ण मध्य जने व्यक्ति जे कि परम पुरुषोत्तम भगवान अटंती आ आमे माने मध्य गोटे गोटे व्यक्ति बा जीव ताले ए निर्विशेष बात आसिला कि परी
The material world outside of the devotees here is based on impersonalism.
ए भौतिक जगत ए भक्त मान को छाड़ी देले बाहर को गले बाहर जगत रे एथिरे वास्तव रे निर्विशेषता भरी रही छी
And we should be based on personalism.
आमे किंतु ए पर्सनालिज्म ऊपर बेस करिया कथा.
That means we respect and honor all living entities. Oh,
We'll do it after
the
some
whole
time.
thing. Well, I'm not really telling a story yet, so this is like a word for word.
Okay.
So we should not be in the mode of, oh, here goes somebody, I won't say hello, I won't smile. I see a devotee, I don't acknowledge them. These are things that creep in and make us more like a materialist than a spiritualist.
तो जमती आमे देखुचे भक्त समाज मध्ये आमे परस्पर को देखुचे बाहर जगत रे देखुचे आमे किछि हसुने तांकु देखि तांकु किछि कहूने रिप्लाई रे किंतु भक्ति रे आसला परे भक्त मान को देखि कि किछि हमर रिएक्शन रहया दरकार तांकु स्माइल दवा दरकार.
I was listening the other day to His Holiness Satsarup Maharaj tell stories about his very beginning in Krishna consciousness.
मो एबे किछि मो जण विशेष हिज होलनेस सत्स्वरूप महाराज का सहित देखाई थिली से किछि बहुत सुंदर स्टोरी कहउथले.
Now obviously you know the name because the Leela Amrita was put together by Satsarup Maharaj.
आपण मन निश्चित जानिथिबे तांको कारण लीलामृत रे तांको ना लिखाई छि से ही लीलामृत रे रचयिता.
And he was one of Srila Prabhupada's first disciples.
से शिल प्रभुपादंकर जने प्रमुख शिष्य मंथरे जने.
He used to come home from work. He lived very close to 26 Second Avenue, and he was into spiritualism. He was also what we call a hippie or a hipster, but he was into spiritualism, and he saw this little sign says Swamiji speaks at 7 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the storefront Matchless Gifts window.
से समय गोटे कहतु हिस्टर कहतु हिपस्टर तो से समय देखिले आसी 26 सेकेंड एवेन्यू रे गोटे पोस्टर लगी स्वामीजी स्पीक्स स्वामीजी कहउचंती सोमवार बुधवार शुक्रवार संध्या 7टा.
So he went in and he was met by a guy named Raymond. And Raymond said, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. My name's Ray. Your name? Oh, I'm Steve. Okay." And he thought, this guy must be like a very serious spiritualist because he's inside this Swami's little storefront.
तो से भितर देखते किसी लोक मान को जाना रेमंड रे आउ किसी बड़ी लोक मान को तो से को देखिकी स्टीव पचारती ओ एमाने बोधे विशेष लोक एमाने बोधे आगुरु जानी स्वामीजी को से.
And he had been there, Raymond had been there 2 days. And Satsarup had just been there 1 day. But that was how everybody was, all brand new, all not knowing anything about Krishna consciousness.
हाँ से माने पुरुना थिले से माने 2 दिन रो पुरुना थिले आउ ये निजे दिन कर पुरुना आ ई परी समस्ते एक्चुअली ब्रांड न्यू थिले कृष्ण भक्ति रे सेठी.
I remember when I first became a devotee, and I joined actually 50 years ago, 6 months ago, 50 years and 6 months ago, I joined. And I thought anybody who's been a devotee for like 5 years must be like a pure devotee.
मो विषय कहबी जदि माने 50 वर्ष 6 मास आगुरु मु फिलाडेल्फिया रे जतबळु जॉइन कली सेतबळ जदि काहाको हम देखुतिलु 5 वर्ष हे गलानी हमको लागुला निश्चित भाव से जने शुद्ध भक्त होइथिबे.
And then after I hit the 5-year mark, I thought, well, I'm not. Maybe they are, but I know I'm not.
तापरे 5 वर्ष मोर हे गला जतबळु मु देखिली जे सेमाने बते शुद्ध भक्त हे गलानी किंतु मु तो हे नहीं जाए.
So we all have such a long way to go, but you know, in the very beginning, the devotees knew nothing.
हाँ हुए तो किछि दिन जिबार अछि आउ किछि दिन गले आमे पछे शुद्ध भक्त हवा किंतु मु जानि पाली जे नुआ रे मु किछि भी जान नथली.
Satsarup said he went to Srila Prabhupada and said, "I'd like to be initiated."
आ सत्स्वरूप महाराज कहिले श्रील प्रभुपाद जाय कि जे मु आपन गोटु दीक्षा प्राप्त होबा चाहूछि.
And Satsarup Maharaj said, please, I missed the first initiation because I wanted to be special, so can you have a special one just for me?
सत्स्वरूप महाराज कहले प्लीज मु प्रथम दीक्षा उत्सव मिस कर देली श्रील प्रभुपाद आपनकर किंतु मु बहुत स्पेशल होबा को चाहूछि आपण मो पय कि छोटे विशेष आयोजन करिवे कि.
And Srila Prabhupada asked him one question.
आ श्रील प्रभुपाद गोटे प्रश्न पचारले.
Are you a vegetarian? That was the only qualification. Are you a vegetarian?
एटा गोटे मात्र क्वालिफिकेशन दरकार थिला आपण वेजिटेरियन की.
Now later, a month later, a whole month later, now you're talking almost an eternity for some of these devotees. You've been here a whole month? Wow!
तो सेठी वास्तव रे मासे जे रही जाउतला मन लागुतला माने इटर्निटी रु से माने वेजिटेरियन इटर्निटी रो फॉलो करछन सब किछि लागुतला.
Srila Prabhupada then again announced, we will have an initiation. And in order to be initiated, you must qualify.
तापरे शिल प्रभुपाद आउ थे अनाउंस कले जे एबे मु आउ थे दीक्षा देबी आ जदि तुमको दीक्षा नबार अछि ताले तुमको क्वालिफिकेशन प्राप्त करिया पड़ियो.
He said there are rules you must follow.
से कहले किछि नियम अछि जोडा तुम पालन करिया पड़ियो.
Now he didn't do this in the very beginning.
किंतु एटा प्रथम थर कहि नथिले.
He said you must be vegetarian, no meat, fish or eggs.
से कहले तुम मानको निरामिष कहब ना. ओके तुम मानको शाकाहारी होबा पड़ियो. मीट खाइबनी माछ खाइबनी अंडा खाइबनी.
And everybody was okay with that because, well, they've been going to the temple. Srila Prabhupada's been cooking, cleaning, and taking care of them. So most of them, they said, okay, I can do that. I can be a vegetarian.
आउ सेमान सब मोस्टली कहले हाँ आम द्वारा हो पारिबो कारण से बहुत दिन प्रभुपाद सेवा करछंती तो से भाबिले हाँ आम द्वारा हो पारिबो.
Thank you. Very nice.
हरि बोल.
Then Srila Prabhupada said, and there is no gambling.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले किंतु आपण माने जुआ मध्ये खेलिबेनी.
And they all went, hey, we don't even have any money in our pockets. We're not going to gamble.
से कहले हम पैसा भी नहीं पॉकेट रे हमें किछि जुआ खेलिया पे जाई परिबनी.
Okay, we're ready. We'll be initiated.
तापर से भाइला ताल ठीक अछि हम ताल दीक्षा हबो.
Then Srila Prabhupada says there is no intoxication.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले तुम माने के मद मध्य पीउ नथिबो.
What? What did he say? No. You're talking like no hard drugs, right? Like LSD or cocaine, things like that, yeah? Prabhupada says no. Alcohol, drugs, coffee, cigarettes, tea. A couple of them left.
तापर शिल समस्त बुझी पाले. तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले जे किछि से माने भाबिले बदे किछि हाई एलएसडी बा ए सब ड्रग्स नुह किंतु शिल प्रभुपाद कहले नो अल्कोहल नो एलएसडी नो ड्रग्स नो कॉफी नो टी मध्ये कहले. तापर किछि चाली गले मध्ये हम मूवमेंट रो.
Some of them left, but the ones that stayed were like, all right, it won't be easy. Well, I still got some of that other thing, but that'll be it. No more drugs. All right, we'll be initiated.
किछि जन पळे गले किंतु जो माने रही गले बहुत स्थिर होई कि रहिले ठीक अछि आमे रहिबा.
And Prabhupada says there is one more rule.
किंतु तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले आउ गोटे नियम अछि.
No illicit sex. What? Did he just say no sex? Almost every one of them left.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले आउ गोटे नियम अछि अवैध संग स्त्री संग पुरुष संग. तापर प्राय समस्त ही पळे गले.
Prabhupada explained what illicit sex meant, and they were like, well, I've got this girlfriend, and I've got that girlfriend, and, well, I do go to parties, and, I'm giving up the drugs and stuff. All right. So, obviously, people started to join.
तो तापर कारण से माने भाबिले जे मोर तो ये गर्लफ्रेंड अछंती ये पुणी गर्लफ्रेंड समस्त सहित मु मिसुची कोन आ इलिसिट सेक्स हबो. तापर किंतु मु देखिले जे से माने सब रही गले मूवमेंट रे.
And then Srila Prabhupada says, and you must chant Hare Krishna.
तापर ऑब्वियसली शिल प्रभुपाद कहले जे तुम मानको हरे कृष्ण जप करिया पड़ियो.
Well, they were already chanting Hare Krishna.
से माने तो already कॉलेनी जप.
And Prabhupada says, yes, you will chant 64 rounds on your beads. What? 64 rounds? 64, that's like 10 hours of chanting. And they were like, we can't do that. We can't do that, Swamiji, we can't do that. And Prabhupada says, okay then, 16 rounds minimum. So we saved you all.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले तुम मैंने सब 64 माला जप करिया पड़े सुने आश्चर्य हेले 64 माला कौन कहले 64 माला ना कौन तापर प्रभुपाद कहले हो ठीक अछि तुम मैंने 64 माला जद न कर परिबो 16 माला जप कर आज मध्ये हमें सही 16 माला ही समस्त को कहउछु जप करिया.
So now we're going to have a fire sacrifice.
तापर एबे यज्ञ स्टार्ट हबो.
Now I said that and you all didn't move. Everybody was, okay, yeah. So say that in America in 1966. You're going to have a fire sacrifice. Like, fire sacrifice? What are we? What are we burning people? What are we doing? What does a fire sacrifice mean?
एठी हुए तो अग्नियज्ञ कहले सब बुझी पाउछंती कि सेपटे अग्नियज्ञ कहले कोन अग्नि आहुति रे कोन माने मनिष माने पक्का हबो ना कोन आहुति दिया हबो के जाने.
Because you know what I thought when I first heard fire sacrifice? Because we used to see movies, and in Africa they'd take somebody and put them on a thing and cook them in the fire, you know, and that's what everybody used to think. A fire sacrifice, it's crazy. How can we have a fire sacrifice? Who are we sacrificing? The young boy, get him, throw him in the fire.
अग्नियज्ञ कहले आम सब फिल्म रे बेला देखिथिले अफ्रीकन माने सब बड़ बड़ कड़ई रे लोक मानक पकई दियंती तांगा माने सो जो निग्रो कोन कहते जो फॉरेस्ट लोक मानक तो मते लागिला बदे हमको लागुतला सेही भले बदे किछ हेथिबो जे लोक मानक कुआ जिवो ताबरे याकू पकाओ.
So now we're in San Francisco, and we're about to have the first fire sacrifice in San Francisco.
तापरे हमें सैन फ्रांसिस्को चली गलु जोठी सेठी मध्य प्रथम थर ए अग्नियज्ञ हबो.
Now this is going to be a fire sacrifice for some of our famous devotees of Lord Krishna of Srila Prabhupada.
जोठी शिल प्रभुपादर किछि बहुत विशेष भक्त व शिष्य माने जोड़ी हेले.
Sam and Melanie, who got names Shima Sundar and Malati, very famous devotees. They did so much service. Malati's still firing away. And a couple other devotees got initiated. 4 people got initiated at this fire sacrifice.
जोठी विशेष किछि भक्त माने थिले मालती श्याम सुंदर आउ किछि एबली 4 जण बहुत विशेष व्यक्ति थिले.
So Prabhupada's telling them what to get to make a fire sacrifice.
आ शिल प्रभुपाद सेठ ता बुझौचंदी कोन दरकार है अग्नियज्ञ करबा हबो हमर जो.
Now the temple room in San Francisco was a little storefront again, and the temple room was about the size of this stage.
आ से जो मंदिर रो सैन फ्रांसिस्को घरटा हे आसबरी तो सेटा बस ए स्टेज जति बड़ा सेति बड़ा ही थिला स्टेज वाली.
And they're thinking, how are we going to have a fire sacrifice on this stage like right here right now?
से मैंने भाबिले जे एति बड़ छोटिया स्टेज बा रूम रे हमें केमिति करिबा अग्नियज्ञ.
So Prabhupada's telling them we need pieces of broken wood.
प्रभुपाद कहले किछि काठ खंड उडा आना.
About 10 liters of ghee.
10 लीटर घी आना.
Again, they're like, ghee? We're cooking? We're having a feast? What is this?
तो से कहले घी माने कोन हम कटे रोसे हम फीस्ट हम ना कोन.
And that's after they had to ask, what's ghee?
आउ से माने एया मते पछटले घी कोन.
Nobody knows what ghee is. So we get the ghee, we get the fire, and then Prabhupada says we need bananas.
तो तापरे से माने घी रेडी करले तापरे काठ आनले तापरे प्रभुपाद कहले कदली मध्ये आना.
So it's like a barbecue, a banana barbecue. So they get all the ingredients, and Srila Prabhupada's sitting there doing the fire sacrifice himself. There's 4 people there. The one guy, his name is Harry, and Harry is from New York, so he understands Prabhupada's language a little bit, because it was very difficult for Westerners to understand Prabhupada's accent. It's a very thick Bengali accent. So he's kind of like being the translator for everybody. So everybody comes to this fire sacrifice wearing their best clothes. We don't have kurtas, we don't have dhotis, so we're wearing like shirts with ties. The tie doesn't match the shirt doesn't match the pants. Nothing matches. You go to a store and I'll have that, give me that, just give me that, give me that, give me this. And Malati, she's wearing Shyam Sundar's t-shirt with a pair of pants. So they're not really what you call dressed for the occasion. Now, the fire sacrifice starts. You know how fire sacrifices go. The pujari, the Brahmin, he's ladling, taking the spoon of ghee, throwing it in the fire. Fire's going up. And Prabhupada says, I will pray. I will say mantras. And every time I say, what is it? I drew a blank. What is it you say when you throw the rice? Swaha, thank you. One blank. Every time I say swaha, you throw rice. So everyone pick up some rice in your hand. So they're all ready. They got their rice in their hand. Prabhupada's prayer. Swaha. And they all took their handful of rice and threw it. Right at Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada's sitting next to a fire in a really closed little room, so he's sweating a bit. And the rice is sticking to his head and all over him, and he's in the fire.
तो सेठी अग्नियज्ञ जो होतिला सेठी चारि जण जो विशेष भक्त थिले पानी देके ग्लास विशेष भक्त माने जो थिले से चार जण बहुत सुंदर सुंदर सब जाय के ड्रेस के नि आनले माइंड करिवे सेठी धोती कुर्ता मिलु नथला जानि नथले के जाय के बहुत सुंदर शर्ट पैंट्स आउ गोटे अन जोड़ा मैच कर नथियो से बळे टाई से बळे पैंट आउ माताजी मालती माताजी कोन पिनथिले ना श्याम सुंदर कुर्ताटा तो से सॉरी श्याम सुंदर शर्टटा तो आउ से सब बसिले तापर यज्ञ आरंभ होला सब रेडी हो गलानी तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले जे मु जतोल स्वाहा कहबी तो माने सब चावल फोपाड़िबो एटू चावल रखाई छी चावल पकेबो तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले सब मंत्र उडा कहले स्वाहा तापर कहला परे सी चावल धरिकी शिल प्रभुपाद मुहरे पकेले से प्रभुपाद सब झाड़ हो जाइला अग्नि आगे बसिके आ सेठी जाई प्रभुपाद मुहरे सब लागि आउतेला चावल गुडा तार प्रभुपाद कहले मते नाही अग्नि रे पकेबो
in the fire. So the fire sacrifice continues, and now it comes time to put the banana. So Prabhupada says, take your banana.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद यज्ञ सरिया गलानी तापर प्रभुपाद कहउछन्ती ठीक अछि एबे सब कदली गुडी को धर.
So they all pick up their banana.
तापर समस्त ता कदली गुडी को धरिले.
So I'm sitting there thinking, this is great because I am getting hungry.
तापर श्याम सुंदर कहउछन्ती बहुत बढ़िया भूख लागिले.
Again, Srila Prabhupada says, no, in the fire.
Srila Prabhupada कहउछन्ती ना ना एटा तम पई नु अग्नि रे पकाओ.
And now we're getting to the best part. They're going to get their new names.
एबे बेस्ट जिंसटा आसीओ तांकर नुआ ना सने पाइबे.
Now Harry gets the name Hari. And Shamsun is like, I thought we got something different. His name's Harry and his name's Hari. So he was a little disappointed.
तापरे ना देला बेले हैरी रो ना कहला बेले शिल प्रभुपाद कहले तो तुम नाम हरि तार से कहला ओ भाई किछ नुआ नाम मिलिबा अपन से हैरी को से हरि मिलला मत.
And Shamsundar got his name, so he was happy with that. Malati got Malati. So very nice names.
अन्य माने सब श्याम सुंदर पाइले श्याम सुंदर ना मालती मालती ना पाइले अन्य माने सब खुशी थिले.
So now we're at the very end.
तापरे बे हमें एंड पार्ट को असलेनी स्टोरी रो.
Prabhupada says to them, bow down.
तापरे शिल प्रभुपाद कहले तो हम सब मुंडिया मार.
Now he's very thick Bengali accent. Bow down.
प्रभुपाद कर बेंगली के तो बुझिया कष्ट हुए से बड़ा.
Now Harry was in New York. He's heard Prabhupada speak before, so he goes to Shyam Sundar. He's telling us to blow.
हैरी टिके बुझी पारलानी से श्याम सुंदर को जाई कहउछि जे प्रभुपाद बते कहउछन ब्लो डाउन ब्लो इन फुंकीवा प्रभुजन कहले छन.
So they're all blowing, and the fire is going right towards Srila Prabhupada.
से माने एबळी फुंकीले जे से अग्नि उडा प्रभुपाद मुहाडू पळउछि.
Prabhupada says, no, bow down, dandavat. Dandavat.
तापर प्रभुपाद कहले ना ना बो डाउन माने दंडवत दंडवत.
Oh, Dandavat. Okay. So the moral of that story is you can see how much Srila Prabhupada tolerated all his disciples. Tolerated us. Because we were so ignorant. We have no idea how to be Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Prabhupada had to teach us everything.
एठू आमे ए शिक्षाटा पाइलु जे शिल प्रभुपाद केते सहिचंती आमମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ आमने किछि बोले किछि भी जान नथिलु तो प्रभुपाद से आमने जो माने किछि भी जानिनु तांको आज हम प्रभुपाद आज एत बहुत सुंदर भक्त एवं वैष्णव बनै देले.
Yeah, Hari Bol. Those devotees who were in Puri when you came to my house there, and I was telling you a story about watching Prabhupada drink, right?
जो मैंने पूरी जाइथिले मो घर को सेट मो गोटे स्टोरी कहिथिले आपण
Who was there? Raise your hand if you were there.
पूरी जाइथिला.
So you heard me say that. Watching Srila Prabhupada drink was like a, just something outer worldly. I've never seen anybody do this before.
तो एठी आपण माने जो शिल प्रभुपाद को स्वप्न रे देखियार गोटे कथा म कहिथिली जोटा हम केबे भी स्वप्न रे भाबी नथिबा से विषय रे म कहिबी पुनी.
Now the story was I was in Guru Puja with Srila Prabhupada, first time seeing him, and I watched him. He picked up his cup, and I'm not going to do it. Don't worry about that. He held the cup this high and went shh, and it went straight into his mouth.
जोटा मु एबे करिबिनी व्यस्त होनी शिल प्रभुपाद एमती नेले कपटा आउ जोथरे पानी थिला से एते ऊपर नै कि एमती पकेले जोटा स्ट्रेट आसी ता मुंह भीतर पड़थिला पाटी भीतर.
And it was almost like I said, almost like the water was being directed by Prabhupada, like come in my mouth.
एमती लागुतला जेंती पानी को से इंस्ट्रक्शन दउछंती एई भले आसी मो पाटरे पसो.
I hold it here and I'm afraid of spilling it.
मु एते पाखरु पीले भी मोर पड़ी जाए साट रे.
But up here, no way.
किंतु ऊपर तो कबदा भी होबनी.
So Prabhupada exhibited such amazing qualities.
शिल प्रभुपाद ए भली बहुत विशेष गुण गुडी को देखैछंती.
He was so very tolerant.
से एते सहिष्णु थिले.
There's a story in Los Angeles.
ए भली आ गोटे स्टोरी अछि लॉस एंजल्स रो उत्साही कि आपण माने सुनिया को.
What did you say?
Are they excited to hear? They're saying.
You want to hear the story? Yeah. So we're in Los Angeles. And at that time, again, there's so many sannyasis were being made. It was very common for someone just to say, I want to be sannyas, okay. For preaching purposes, Prabhupada was giving sannyas. And to get near Srila Prabhupada, it was very difficult. It wasn't easy. And Prabhupada had, in America, maybe a few thousand disciples. So to get association or anything really personal with Prabhupada, it wasn't easy. This one devotee noticed how when Srila Prabhupada came to the temple room in Los Angeles for greeting the deities, he would take his slippers off and leave them outside the temple room. And everybody would go inside. Everybody. And he noticed that and he thought, oh, okay. Everyone. He watched again the next day. Same thing. Same time. Prabhupada comes down 2 minutes to 7, takes his slippers off into the temple room. Everybody's in the temple room. Nobody else is around. Everybody's in the temple room. And he got this brilliant idea. I will look at what the name of Prabhupada's shoes are, what size they are, what color they are. I will go find the exact same shoes and I will swap them with Srila Prabhupada's. And then I will get Maha of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. What a brilliant idea, he thought.
तो लॉस एंजल्स रे बली हल्ला जे कोन बहुत भक्त माने सेतले शिल प्रभुपाद सन्यास नवा को जी भी चाहूतिले प्रचार उद्देश्य रे प्रभुपाद ताकू सन्यास मते दउतिले. तो से समय रे प्रभुपाद जे लॉस एंजल्स रे थिले 2 मिनिट आगुर 7टार सब प्रभुपाद आसंती मंदिर. तो प्रथम दिन भक्त माने देखि सब भक्त आसिले 2 मिनिट पूर्व प्रभुपाद ता चप्पल छाड़ले मंदिर बाहर तापर भीतर पळि आसले. ता पर दिन ठीक 2 मिनिट आगुर पुणी थरे से चप्पल रखिकी सबू भक्त मैंने भितर पलि आसले. जड़े भक्त मार्क कला सी मार्क कला जे प्रभुपाद सबु समय पलि आसुछन्ति और सबु भक्त जेते आस्थिबे भक्त समस्त भितर पलि आसुछन्ति केही भी रहना शिल प्रभुपाद तांको चप्पल छाड़ दी जाउछन्ति से कहला एटी गोटे बहुत विशेष मौका मते मिलुछि से कौन कला ना गोटे बहुत बढ़िया आइडिया ताको आसला सी जाई से चप्पल रो कलर को कंपनी रो केमती देखिया को सेटा नोट कला आ से भाबिला मु नेक्स्ट दिन आसिकी मु कौन करबी ना मु नुआ चप्पल दुईटी सेट रखी देबी आउ ए पुराना चप्पल दुईटी मान जोटा महाप्रसाद प्रभुपादंकर ताको मु नै जीवी घर गोली भाबिछि.
So he goes around Los Angeles, going to every shoe store he can find. Finally finds the exact same pair of shoes.
तापर पूरा लॉस एंजलिस बुली बुली से गोटे दुकान रे पाइले से एग्जैक्ट शूज.
He's waiting now outside the temple room. Srila Prabhupada goes in. He's got the shoes with him. Looking around. Nobody. Swaps the shoes, puts Prabhupada's shoes under his kurta, runs up to his room, closes the door and starts praying.
तापर से कौन कले ना से दुईटी जोता जो बहुत जगह बुलिले बुलिकी पाइले से जोता दुईटी पाइकी तापर नहीं के आसले नेक्स्ट दिन कौन करचंती ना नेक्स्ट दिन से जोता दुईटी एक्सचेंज करदेले जेतोल देखिले प्रभुपाद भितरु पळेले केही नाहंती एक्सचेंज करदेले एक्सचेंज करके से दुईटी पुराना चप्पल जोटा महाप्रसाद सेटा संगे संगे कोट भीतर लुचे की नहीं कि रूम भितरु पळेले रूम भितरु पळे की संगे संगे कबाड़ बंद करके प्रार्थना करछन जे.
Now he's in his room. He knows, okay, it's 5 after 7. Prabhupada won't go back to his room till after Guru Puja, which is 8 o'clock. I just have to wait it out one more hour, and I've got Prabhupada's lotus feet shoes right here with me.
तापर जदि शिल प्रभुपाद आउ गुरु पूजा पर फेरीबे रूम को जदि फेरी गले ताहले तांको चप्पल से सही चप्पलटे नहीं गले मु एई चप्पलटा मोर हे गला.
8:20. 20 minutes after Guru Puja is over, he knows Prabhupada's back in his room, and he's thinking, he was so nervous. I got Prabhupada's shoes.
8:20 हो गला 20 मिनट सरलाणी गुरु पूजा सरी गलाणी एबे से जानले से बहुत नर्वस थिले से समय पर्यंत किंतु एबे से जानले से प्रभुपाद रूम को फेरी गलेणी एबे सब ठीक अछि जा हो मो शिल प्रभुपाद को जोता दीटी पाइली.
Now he's thinking, I'm not going to tell anybody for at least a couple years that I did this, but I've got Prabhupada's shoes.
से भाबुचंदी जे आउ मु एबे काहा को भी कथा कहिबिनी किछि वर्ष जाय तो कहिबिनी काहा को जे मते प्रभुपाद को जोता मिली सारलाणी.
8:30.
8:30 से गला.
Shruti Kirti's at his door. Prabhupada wants his shoes back.
8:30 है जो कबाट खटखट है खोलले जमती सूतकृति बाहर अच्छा सूतकृति आसी कहले प्रभुपाद तांको जोता चाहूँगी वापस.
How did he know?
से क्या जानले.
He didn't get in trouble. He's still a devotee. But I don't think he tried that one again.
तांकर से तो एबे भी भक्त अछंती किंतु से आउ केबे भलिया ट्राई करनांती.
So Srila Prabhupada, again, so tolerant. So tolerant. And you know what's an interesting point is that some of his early disciples, they weren't what you would call materially together. Some were gangsters, some were just thugs, as we call them in America, tough guys. But they all had one thing in common. They loved Srila Prabhupada, would do anything for Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada noticed that within certain devotees. He thought, okay, this person may be very smart, he may be organized, maybe this, he may be that, but this person will do anything for me. So he would send those people to go do preaching centers, start this, do that. And other devotees are thinking, look at him, he's, Prabhupada said, I know who he is. And Prabhupada saw only the good and how to utilize whatever talents they had in the service of Krishna.
प्रभुजी कहते जे से समय बहुत सारा गैंगस्टर्स चोर जी भी हो से सब आसी जोड़ी है आम मुवमेंट रे किंतु भक्त भी थिले सेठी आउ किछि किंतु जो माने भक्त नुह
चोर भी थिले किंतु भक्त होती तो से माने किंतु शिल प्रभुपाद को बहुत भल पाउले यहाँ विशेष गुण गोटे शिल प्रभुपाद भीतर देखिले जे माने जहाँ किसी हो किंतु एमानकर भक्ति थाओ कि न थाओ मते बहुत भल पाउछंती तो प्रभुपाद विशेष तांकर एई गुणटी को बहुत भल पाती जे से माने प्रभुपाद तापर इंस्ट्रक्शन देकी विभिन्न जगह को जाई सब प्रचार केंद्र खोलिबारे सहयोग करेले.
So very, very important that we develop this love of Srila Prabhupada to understand just how important he is to all of us, not just his disciples, but his grand disciples, his would-be grand disciples, everyone. Prabhupada's mercy is there for everyone to take, everyone.
तो आ गोटे कथा से कहले जे अन्य माने कहले जे ये याको पठाउछन्ते आपण प्रचार करियागो ये जे चोर ये डकायत थिला तो शिल प्रभुपाद कहले जहाँ भी हो किंतु सेमान सब वास्तव में शिल प्रभुपाद एते भल पाउथिले जे सेमाने तांको मिशन रे सक्सेसफुल हेले आ प्रभुपाद प्रति ए भल पाइबा जहाँ भी अच्छी सेमाने खाली शिष्य मान प्रति न प्रभुपादर तांको प्रशिष्य ग्रांड ग्रांड ग्रेट ग्रांड शिष्य मैंने जो मैंने अच्छा समस्त भल पाइबाटा आज बांटी ही पार.
So there are really only two things that motivate me to be a devotee after 50 years, and one of them is the holy name, and the second one is Srila Prabhupada.
तो दुईटी जिनस जोटा मत आज मोटिवेट कर रखी भक्ति जीवन रे ऑब्वियसली गोटे जिनस है हरि नाम आउ सेकंड जिनसटी है शिल प्रभुपाद.
So Srila Prabhupada once asked his disciples, do you know why I wrote these books?
शिल प्रभुपाद शिष्य मान थे पचारे जानिच कहीं मैं बही गुड़िया लिखी.
And now everyone's coming up with, smart intellectual answers that you want us to understand the philosophy, you want us to understand who Krishna is. Good answers.
सब भक्त मैंने इच्छा बुझा अनुसार विभिन्न दर्शन प्रदर्शन कर किए कौन कृष्ण को जानापी बोधे आम भल से फिलोसफी जाना से बोधे लिखिं बही सब.
And Srila Prabhupada simply replied, I wrote these books to convince you to chant Hare Krishna.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद कहले मु सब बही गुड़िक ये लिखी तुम मैंने कन्विन्स हो हरे कृष्ण जप को कर.
Now that's part one of my talk today.
तो यहाँ है मोर पार्ट 1 आज कथार.
Can we get those Matajis to come down now?
तो ये आम माताजी मान को डाकिदेवा कि कांता विष्णुप्रिया माताजी अन्य माताजी मान.
I had an idea for something to do and it requires her to be here to play the keyboard.
विशेष मुझे आपण मान को प्रस्तुत करने जाऊली तो सेटा एबे आमे सेकंड पार्ट रे करिवा.
But while we're waiting, can I ask, is there anybody here that would like to ask me a question?
मत आ गोटे जिन प्रतीक्षा थिला जे मु चाहूँ आपण मान भितर कई जदि किसी विशेष प्रश्न चाहिए पचारे मत पारती
or make a comment
बा किसी कमेंट दे पारती एवं पर्यंत आम जिते आलोचना कले प्रश्न किसी आपणकर जेकोसी प्रश्न.
And then I'll tell you a story if nobody puts your hands up.
जदि कहार हाथ उठबनी आ गोटे स्टोरी कहीदेवी.
Srila Prabhupada once gave a lecture in a hall to a bunch of university students.
शिल प्रभुपाद गोटे थर गोटे हॉल रे किसी यूनिवर्सिटी स्टूडेंट मान को गोटे.
And at the end of the lecture he said, are there any questions?
आ लेक्चर सरला पर कहले किसी प्रश्न अछि कि तुम्हारो.
Bunch of university students, scholars.
यूनिवर्सिटी रो स्कॉलरली स्टूडेंट माने अछंदी.
Are there any questions?
प्रश्न अछि कि?
Nobody put their hand up.
केही भी हाथ उठेले नहीं.
Srila Prabhupada turned to Tamal Krishna Goswami and said, no questions means no intelligence.
तापर शिल प्रभुपाद तमाल कृष्ण आड़ को देखी कहले किसी प्रश्न नहीं माने तापर किसी बुद्धि भी नहीं.
Are there any questions?
ताल तुम्हार किसी प्रश्न अछि कि?
No. Yes. All right.
Here's the question. Prabhuji has a
Mataji put her hand up first.
Mataji first. Yeah,
Okay.
this mic. Oh, this. Yeah. This. Mataji first. Prabhuji first.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु. प्रभु जी मु ओडिया रे कहि के आपन ट्रांसलेट कर दे. प्रभु जी जंती प्रभु जी को हरे कृष्ण.
Yeah, so.
प्रभु जी जंती प्रभु जी कहले कि शिला प्रभुपाद केबे भी हरि बोल कहते नहीं हरे कृष्णा कहते किंतु श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु हरिबोल कहती तो हरिबोल कहबारे भी किसी असुविधा ना बट आमको कौन कहबा ठीक कि आम कौन कहीपर किंतु माने आमको गुरु जमती शिखई कि माने कॉपी तो करिया कथा नुहे गुरु को तो आम इंस्ट्रक्शन ही मानिया कथा तो आम कौन कर कोड़ा ठीक
He's asking that as you said in the story that Srila Prabhupada never spoke Haribol.
Yeah.
He would inspire to speak Hare Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes would refer as Haribol.
Yeah.
For us, what should we say? What should be the right thing to say? We are not trying to, we don't want to copy anyone, but what should we say?
Well, like I said, and you repeated that Lord Chaitanya said Haribol. So, well, he's like born in Bengal. So that's a Bengal mainly thing that's now spread throughout our movement. It's not wrong to say Haribol, but I just simply said that Prabhupada never said it. So for somebody like myself, I like Haribol personally because being in Mayapur for 8 years, it's a very Haribol place. But well, it is. But Prabhupada didn't say it. So, as long as we try to follow Prabhupada strictly, you can't go wrong. That's the way I look at it. There are certain activities that we now do as a movement that you'd have to say Prabhupada wouldn't approve of. If he was here, he would say, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? So there are,
Get that all.
and
Get the things ready.
So just hear what Srila Prabhupada said and did and follow that, and you're safe. Is it wrong? No, of course not. You can say Haribol. But I say Haribol, but I say Hare Krishna more. So.
हाँ प्रभु जी कहले जे देख मु तो किसी एमती कहूनी तुमको जे तुम कहीपर महाप्रभु तो कहते हरिबोल मझे मझे किंतु तापर कौन कहले प्रभु जी
Prabhu behind you.
Yeah, you tell me.
हिंदी में चलेगा तो फिर प्रभु जी ने कहा कि हम प्रभुपाद को जो फॉलो करेंगे तो सारी चीज़ें सही प्रभुपाद ने कभी मना नहीं किया है और हम प्रभु खुद 8 साल मायापुर में रहे हैं दैट्स अ वेरी हरिबोल प्लेस तो उन्होंने बहुत हरिबोल सुना है दैट इज़ फाइन आप आराम से जो भी फॉलो कर रहे हैं कर सकते हैं
Okay, Prabhu. No, one more question. That Prabhu had his. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So my question is that Harinam Mahamantra is the everything. So can you please share then how can very perfectly we can do Harinam Mahamantra?
What was the question? Sorry.
How can we do perfect Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Oh. Well, we have the 10 offenses, which nobody ever thinks about when they're chanting. But if you were simply to meditate on why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this? Is this some mechanical thing because I'm told to do it, I do it? Or are you generating bhakti from your heart when you chant? And I can always tell the difference. I can hear beautiful, beautiful singers and I'm thinking he's not chanting from his heart. He's got a great voice, but he's not chanting from his heart. So, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati used to get like the worst singers to sing. Because generally, if you can't sing, you try really hard. Like, Hare Krishna! You put everything you have into it. Because you're not a good singer. You can't just go, Hare Krishna, so cool, aren't I cool? So, the idea with chanting Hare Krishna is to chant from your heart. And when you're chanting from your heart and when you're not. Everyone does. It's like Prabhupada used to say, nobody has to tell you you're hungry or not. When you're full, when you've eaten, they don't have to say, am I full now? Oh, I am. Okay, I'll stop. No, you don't have to do that. We know. So when you're chanting from your heart. It's just like japa. If I'm chanting japa, and I hear a ding on my phone, and I pick it up, and I'm reading while I'm going, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh, Ram, 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 Hare Krishna. Am I chanting to please Krishna? No. It's a mechanical, it's like a bird, right? Anybody can do that. So you want to just stay focused, especially things like japa. Now, I like talking about japa, by the way. It's basically 2.5 to 3 hours of your day. if you chant 16 rounds. And are you trying to tell me you want to go back to Godhead and you can't give 2.5 to 3 hours of your precious day to Krishna to go back to Godhead? You got to interrupt Krishna? Like, I don't really care about you, I care about Facebook. We have to stay focused. This chanting is a special relationship that you have to develop over the years. And you get better and better at it, and you get closer and closer to Krishna. We want to see Krishna dancing on our tongue. We don't want to see Instagram dancing on our tongue. We want Krishna. So you got to really meditate on Krishna. The name is Krishna. Somebody asked Prabhupada, what should I be thinking? He says, why thinking? You should be concentrating. Hare Krishna. You concentrate on each syllable. And every time you say this mantra, give it your all. Give it your all. At the end of chanting 16 rounds, you should think, wow, that was fast. Not, oh my God, I got 4 more rounds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Mechanical chanting doesn't get you anywhere. Doing anything mechanical doesn't get you anywhere, right? If you're sweeping the floor and you're thinking of 20 other things and you're probably missing stuff and you don't really care, it's just, oh, well, I'm doing it, I'm supposed to do this, I'll do it. If that's your attitude for chanting Hare Krishna, you're going to get a bad effect. You'll get a good effect, but not the effect you really want, right? So let's all do that when we chant, especially in a group like this. You're all amazing devotees. I can feel the energy. It's so amazing. Don't just go, put your whole being into it. Like there's nowhere else in the universe you want to be but right here, right now, chanting Hare Krishna with all these wonderful devotees. And if we chant sweetly, who's going to be here? Do we even know? Is Narada Muni in the back? Brahma, Indra, are you here?
Yes.
Do you know? You don't know. So just in case they are here, chant so Brahma can go back to Brahma Loka and say, you should see these devotees in Bhubaneswar chant Hare Krishna. We should be better than this here in Brahma Loka. So put your heart and soul into it every time you chant. I used to play sports. I played a lot of sports. And I remember one of the expressions for basketball was, you want to leave it all on the court. In other words, give everything you have. If you win, if you lose, it doesn't matter. You did your best. And that's all Prabhupada and Krishna ask. Do your best. Right? Put the phone away for japa. That's hard, isn't it? Put your phone away for japa. Imagine how we did when I first joined. We didn't have cell phones. How difficult was it to chant rounds? No cell phone? No Facebook? No Instagram? Nothing? Wow. You must feel really sorry for me, right? You poor guy, you didn't have a cell phone? That's so sad. But it can be used for good for sure, but not during japa. Not during kirtan. I've seen people pull their phone out in the middle of a kirtan. It's like, really? The kirtan's not taking you to a spiritual place? You want to stay locked into Instagram during a kirtan? So put your heart and soul into it. Even if it's just for 10 minutes. Say we chant here for 10 minutes. Give 10 minutes to the holy name. Right? What do you got to lose? You're here. You put your body here. Now put your soul. Okay? I hope everybody understood that. That was a big rave. You can translate that.
Sorry.
Keep playing. Start playing.
One more question they want to ask. Time is last. Yeah. Anybody has a question? Last question. Yeah, please come ahead.
Yeah, keep playing. I heard you guys. Sweet. It's nice. You tell me how it went.
and more we should read Srila Prabhupada's books and hear his lecture. But what should we have more when we read Srila Prabhupada's Leela and when we hear the pastimes of Srila Prabhupada? What should we have more at that time?
What should be our mood when we read about Prabhupada? Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because whenever I'll tell a story. When I first arrived in India, and I got invited to go to Dhaka in Bangladesh, and I arrived there on a Friday. I don't know if you're familiar with Bangladesh, but Friday is their Sunday. They have a Sunday feast, but it's a Friday feast. That's their day off. And I didn't realize that. And I pulled in this tinted window van. They opened the door inside the Dhaka temple, and there was like 600 people there, going crazy, throwing flowers and garlands all over me. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And this is the first time I ever had to speak in public in India or Bangladesh. And I was realizing they don't even know me. Why are they so happy? Because they're happy because I'm representing Srila Prabhupada. So if you think of Prabhupada when you see me, that's wonderful. If you think of Prabhupada when you're reading the Leelamrita, that's wonderful. That's what this is all about. Prabhupada was asked, is at the time of death, I don't think of Krishna, but I think of you, Srila Prabhupada. Is that okay? And Prabhupada said, yes, that is okay. So we are so very blessed. Prabhupada was with us. He was amongst us. We have videos, we have lectures, we have everything about Srila Prabhupada. Every devotee who spent time with Srila Prabhupada is now writing their memories. It's so ecstatic. You know, and I only have a few short memories of Srila Prabhupada in person, in his physical presence. And they carry me. They've been carrying me for 50 years, and I believe they're going to carry me for 50 more lifetimes, or maybe 500 lifetimes. That's how important that relationship is. So if you feel anything when you read these things, good. That's what you want. You want to connect with Prabhupada. You want to connect with the devotees. When I mentioned personalism, it's so very important. We acknowledge how special you all are. You could be out doing all kinds of nonsense. And here you're sitting having some Prabhupada Katha, Krishna Katha, Kirtan. You could be doing all kinds of things. Young man, young boys could be out doing all kinds of silly stuff. But you're sitting here pretending you're listening. That's good. No. You didn't get that joke, okay. But it's wonderful. You guys are wonderful. There's how many millions and billions of people on this planet? What are they doing? Are they thinking of Krishna? Are they wanting to think of Krishna? That's why our preaching work is so very important. It's silly little things like Harinam, some old-fashioned activity called Harinam, where maybe thousands of people accidentally hear the mantra. And like I told the story, the store guy didn't like the devotees, but he kept hearing the mantra. And the mantra does its magic. And it is magic. And we don't realize how powerful it is. But we just know we should accept that Prabhupada wanted us to do it. Lord Chaitanya wants us to do it. So let's just do it. Let's chant Hare Krishna. Okay? Is that good? Thank you. Sweet.
In short,
Again.
short रे तो शिल प्रभुपाद तांको किसी भक्त मैंने पचारे जे प्रभुपाद आम कृष्ण को स्मरण कले तो भगवत धाम जीवु किंतु आपण को स्मरण कले चलिबो कि कहले हाँ चलिबो हरि बोल तापरे प्रभु जी को से प्रश्न पचारे जे लीलामृत पढ़ा प्रभुपाद बही तो पढ़ुछु लीलामृत बा प्रभुपाद विषय शुणा बा पढ़ा यहाँ कौन किसी लाभदायक से कहले हाँ जमती मु आज आसी मु ढाका जाइली थरे प्रथम थर पब्लिक रे गोटे कहवाई जाइली मु इंडिया को आसा समय रे तो ढाका जाइए शुक्रवार दिन पहुँचली आ जाई पहुँचला बेले से देखिली सांगे सांगे डोर जमती खोलिला 1000 रु अधिक भक्त से थिले मते स्वागत करिया से कौन पे से मते स्वागत करिया से ठियाइतिले मते तो से देखि भी ना जानी भी ना हेले काई करथिले से मते स्वागत काई ना से माने शिल प्रभुपाद स्मरण होता मत देखिकी मत देखिले से शिल प्रभुपाद को मन पकई पारे तो तो से भाई मो जीवन में 50 वर्ष हो गला मोर भक्ति रे तो किंतु आज मोर भरोसा अच्छी जे प्रभुपाद स्मरण एवं स्मरणीय जो वस्तु भक्त मैंने जो मैंने रही से मत 50 लाइफ टाइम कौन 50 लाइफ टाइम पर्यंत मत टाणिकी नहीं जाए आगू को भक्ति रे तो ये मोर अनुभूति भक्ति रे बोली
You've all heard the expression, it's a deeply moving experience. Well, that's what kirtan is. It's deeply moving. It takes you out of the material and puts you into the spiritual. And we all have that choice. Do we want to stay material? Do you want to keep taking birth in this material world? Or do you want to get out of here? Go back to the spiritual world. And Krishna gives you free will. You can do it. We can all go back to Godhead. And Prabhupada said, in this lifetime. That's very special. In this lifetime. It's not some way out there thing. It's right here. It's right now. You put your heart into it. Bhakti means putting your heart into it. Chant from your heart. Feel it with your heart. Don't think, just do it. Just chant. See what happens. That's the best way. That's what Krishna's looking for. He wants your heart. He wants your love. Srila Prabhupada just wants your love. He once said to Satsarup Maharaj, if you love me, I will love you. If you love Krishna, he will love you. If you love your spiritual master, he will love you. If you love chanting, what else is there? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. You know, it's really interesting. Everywhere we go, every temple, every community, just play softly, yeah. You're good, you're good. There's always twice as many women as men. Do you notice that? Like, look, it's like packed with women and there's some men here. Why is that? Why is that? You know what it is? Women take the spiritual life easier than men. Because why? Because we have false egos that are just so big. I'm not surrendering to anybody. I don't get down on the ground for anybody. Gargamuni Prabhu once said to Srila Prabhupada, all the other boys are bowing down to you. I don't want to bow down to you. Is that okay? And Prabhupada said, no, you must bow down. Spiritual life means bow down.
Yeah.
You must bow down, which means you must surrender your false ego. You must surrender your pride. You must surrender your inhibitions. Just like when we sing, the men will go like, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And the women are Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Why is that? You know, in Los Angeles, in the very beginning, Srila Prabhupada introduced Srimad Bhagavatam class with shloka chanting. Very interesting. Nobody had ever chanted Sanskrit. I mean, come on, Sanskrit. We're just working on English in America. We don't think about any other language. We don't care. You might want to translate this story. This is a good story. So, Prabhupada then introduced, I will chant the shloka, and you will respond. One by one, you will then chant the shloka. So Prabhupada chanted it. Let's say it was Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman Praja. And one man, one sannyasi, Sarvadharman Praja, a couple other men, Prabhupada went, Mataji's. Sarvadharman Praja. And the men are like, oh. Prabhupada says, the women are much better. Well, can you imagine the false ego of sannyasis? And Prabhupada says the women are better? So the sannyasis all got together. They got the Bhagavad Gita. What's the next shloka? Okay, let's practice it. Tadvidi pranipatena. They were ready. They were ready. The next day, Prabhupada says, okay, chant. The sannyasi goes, Tadvidi pranipatena paripasnena sevaya. And then Prabhupada goes, Mataji's. Tadvidi pranipatena sevaya. And Prabhupada says, they are still better. Why is that? Why? Women aren't afraid, right? You lose your inhibitions a lot easier. You're not thinking, oh, she's looking at me. I'm singing too loud. The men are all like, well, I don't look like I'm too into this mantra thing. You know. All right, I'm here, aren't I? Isn't that enough? We're all acting like we're somebody special. You're only special when you're chanting Hare Krishna. That's special.
Haribo!
You want to be special? Chant. Let's chant a little bit louder this time. Only the men. Only the men. Does everybody understand those words? Only the men.
Prabhu.
Prabhus.
Yes.
No Matajis. If you're wearing a sari, you're a Mataji. Just so we all get it clear. Just the Prabhus. Ready? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Haribo, Haribo.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everybody stand up, please. You get 1 point for chanting, and you get 10 points for chanting and dancing. What do you want? The 1 point? The 10 points. Chant and dance. I believe that's the philosophy. Chant and dance. Chant and dance. Chant and dance. Chant and dance. Ready when you are. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Okay, we're having some fun, yeah? This is kind of fun. Now, I'm gonna play a little game with you, okay? When I point, I want you to say one word. If I start and I go, Hare, and if I point over here, you say Krishna. One word, understand? Understand? One word when I point. Part of the mantra. We know the mantra, 16 words, so I'm going to point. Who said Hare? Hold on. Do we know the mantra? All right. It's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Don't say Hare when it's supposed to be Krishna. We'll try it again. Are we ready? When I point. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. We'll try it again. Hold on. One more mantra. Watch. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Watch me. One more time. One more time. Ready? Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Everyone, please sit down. Please sit down. Okay. So, as you can experience right now, this chanting of Hare Krishna, it's not material. It's not of this material world. It's a spiritual activity that gives absolute spiritual benefit. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan, which means that this mantra is from the spiritual world. It is non-different than Krishna himself. And this is a special mercy that we have been given in this age, this time that we live in right now. That simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you can purify yourself enough to go back to Godhead. And that should be the goal of everyone's life. And the big part of this goal, take as many people with you as you can. So spread this mantra. Spread this Hare Krishna philosophy. Don't be shy. Tell people about it. If there's a Harinam organized, try to attend if you have the time. Try to add a voice so that the chanting is just a little bit louder, that maybe somebody who wouldn't ordinarily hear it can hear the mantra. It'll affect them. We just don't know. When I first became a devotee, we distributed so many of Srila Prabhupada's books. And it was almost like, okay, I'm giving them the book, but what happens next? I don't know. I want to see. And now we're seeing the results. All around the world, there are Hare Krishnas. All around the world. Where previously, if you said Hare Krishna in India, people understood. If you said it in Russia or America or Australia or Great Britain, nobody knew what you were talking about. So Srila Prabhupada is on a mission to spread this mantra all around the world. This beautiful mantra given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I'll tell you a story that originally we only chanted Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada once said, do you want me to give you another mantra? And of course the devotees, not knowing what he was talking about, said, sure, let's have another mantra. So Prabhupada said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrinda. And then Srila Prabhupada said something that amazed the devotees. He said, this mantra is even more powerful than the Hare Krishna mantra. And devotees were shocked. We didn't chant this for years, now we have something more powerful? So one sannyasi started to chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar. He was doing rounds, chanting on his beads, the Panchatattva mantra. He would do 4 rounds a day of Panchatattva and 16 of the Hare Krishna mantra. And they told Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says, no. We haven't been instructed to chant Hare Krishna. But the sannyasi said, but Srila Prabhupada, you said it's more powerful. But Prabhupada says, yes, you chant it before you chant Hare Krishna, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants us to chant Hare Krishna. So that's why we emphasize this Hare Krishna mantra, because it's Lord Chaitanya's mood, Lord Chaitanya's mission. This is what we are trying to carry out. So I'm saying give up so many bad qualities, but get so many good qualities. And that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. No alcohol, no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, but kirtan, prasadam, association of devotees, Srila Prabhupada's books. You get so much more that when you think about, why do I want to eat a hamburger when I can have prasadam? Why do I want illicit sex when I can have kirtan? Kirtan is so moving. No bad after effect. It only makes you feel peaceful inside. As crazy as you can be in kirtan, it brings peace. How is that possible? How is it that you can walk around smiling? You know, in the very beginning of the movement, people used to say to us, why are you smiling so much? Are you on drugs? Because we were smiling. Nobody smiles. You walk around Bhubaneswar downtown. Who's walking around smiling? Nobody. They're miserable. People are miserable. They're worried about this and that and everything else. They're not happy. But we can say, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. It's a simple process. Anybody can do it. Young, old, in between, tall, short, doesn't matter. Man, woman, doesn't matter. In Sridham Mayapur, we have Harinam outside the TOVP office. I did this for 8 years. And there were dogs that used to come to the Harinam regularly. And this one dog, I don't know if he's just stretching or what, but he'd come up to our Gornitai and go, and we just go, oh God, really? Did he just really pay his obeisances? Or is he just stretching? But he did it more than once, so I'm going to go with he was paying his obeisances. So after all, he was a Damvasi. So everybody can chant this. There's no disqualification. And you can all sing it. There's no disqualification. It doesn't matter how bad a voice you have or how good a voice you have. It doesn't matter. Krishna doesn't go, oh, tell him to stop chanting my names. Whoa, that hurt. He doesn't know. He doesn't think like that. He doesn't feel like that. He simply sees what's in his heart. He's trying to love me through chanting my names. He's trying to get to know me through chanting my names. I'll give him some mercy. So, is anybody in pain, by the way, from all that kirtan? Does it hurt? Anybody? Pain? Feeling like, why did I do that? That hurt. It's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful experience that everyone should get the opportunity. So let's try to preach that. Let's take this knowledge that we have been given and give it to others. So that one day, this hall here is so tiny for all the amount of devotees in Bhubaneswar that we have to get a bigger place for this kind of a Sunday feast. That's the American in me. Bigger. We got to get more. We can do it. I mean, I was down in the temple room prior to coming up here, and I thought, oh, there's the Sunday feast crowd. It was crowded. And there must be, maybe 5 or 10 people up here. And I walked in, I was like, oh my gosh, where are all these people coming from? That's the power of the holy name. That's the power of devotees preaching and helping and becoming personal. Helping. Amritesh Gaur was telling me you have a follow-up program when somebody becomes interested. We're showing we care. We don't want you to just come and give your money or something like that. We want you to come and be a devotee, so we care about you. We're going to nurture you, bring you along. And it's up to senior devotees to do that, to say, hey, you got any problem? Can I help you with it? What do you need? What can we do to make your Krishna consciousness go easier? Because it's not easy. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's not. It's never just a straight path. There are bumps in the road, so we need help. So the Vaishnavas have to look after each other. We have to care for each other. We have to support and nurture each other. So let's all do that. And I'm thankful for Amritesh Gaur for inviting me here. This is my first Sunday feast in a long time because so many temples don't do it anymore. So I want to thank him very much so. He's been such a help for me. We became friends, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. He came to Mayapur and asked me to speak to a group of young followers that he had with him. And we connected, and I thought, this devotee is special. I want to get his mercy. So I'm blessed to be in his association, and we are very blessed. You should understand, you're very blessed to have him here, looking after you all and supporting you. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Are you saying something, Amritesh? Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So today, how was the program today? Embrace JivaNath Prabhu ki. So Prabhuji, as you rightly said, this hall is small enough for us, and we would like to have more and more devotees in Bhubaneswar getting connected and nourishing their Krishna consciousness by chanting these holy names. The more we associate with Srila Prabhupada disciples, one realization I get is that when we practice Krishna consciousness at our homes, chant, offer bhoga, eat prasad, whatever we do, all these activities may not give us so much, what you can say is
joy when we do it alone. But when we associate with such advanced devotees, and especially the devotees such dear to Srila Prabhupada, like His Grace JivaNath Prabhu, then we get so much of fulfillment and so much of satisfaction that our Krishna consciousness is one day going to get successful. That surety we get by such advanced association. As Prabhuji said, we may not develop any love for Krishna, we may not be able to please Krishna, but if we can please Srila Prabhupada, if we can remember Srila Prabhupada, if we can remember those who are dear to Krishna, then definitely our life is going to become successful. So His Grace JivaNath Prabhu is one among them. Well, he may not be in a sannyasi dress, he may not be holding a danda, that doesn't matter. Srila Prabhupada rightly told many times that are we here that to just dress ourselves? No, we want to develop our love for Krishna. So in order to do that, whichever role a devotee may be, we should respect each other and we should grow in our Krishna consciousness. And Prabhuji is a rightly example. Mataji and all others who are connected to Prabhuji are going to do that. So Prabhuji, thank you so much for your inspiring words and such wonderful kirtan. We never want to miss them. So Prabhuji kindly accepted our request and came from Puri to Bhubaneswar. Yesterday we had a Harinam, though very less of us joined. But Prabhuji enthused us, and Prabhuji's inspiring words and love is really what it matters. His mercy, by that mercy, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, definitely all of us will be blessed. His Grace JivaNath Prabhu ki jai. And we would really love if JivaNath Prabhu would give his association in a more frequently possible. Haribo! Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji and Arjun. Hare Krishna. So today's Sunday feast was sponsored by Today's Sunday feast is sponsored by Aditi Mataji, Haribo, and Hare Krishna. Okay, and today's Sunday feast is also sponsored by sponsors today. So second sponsor is Nandanandan Priya Prabhu's sister. So Nandanandan Priya Prabhu, would you like to come and receive? Because Aditi Mataji is not there here, so he can receive some mercy from you in form of garland. Can you give, Mataji, can you bring that garland of JivaNath or Tulsi Maharani? Okay.
I have a garland.
Okay. Haribo! Thank you. And here is a special painting on behalf of all the devotees. Our devotee Pallav, he painted it last night. So he is the boy who painted it.
Who did this?
This boy.
Wow.
Come here. Give the Tulsi Maharani garland. Oh, it's not garland there. Okay, there is a garland on JivaNath.
Oh, right. That's really good. That actually looks like scary. That's really good. When did you do this?
We have many devotees who are yesterday night.
At the Harinam?
No, he didn't go. He painted it.
Didn't sticks. Really good. I've had a couple other. This is the one that this really looks. I mean, go. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. This actually looks like. That's really good. Wow. Thank you. Very much. I'll do something. Can I don't have to go.
So, got a garland.
And you go.
So, today evening, Prabhuji is speaking at Patia for the Sunday feast there. Hare Krishna. And we'd like to request if Prabhuji would like to give the Bhagavatam class tomorrow. I didn't keep it in private. Now I'm asking. You'd like to? Yeah, devotees. How many of you would like to attend the Bhagavatam class tomorrow if Prabhuji would give? Hare Krishna. Keep your hands up. Yeah.
Okay. I have a photographic memory, so anybody that put their hand up, if you're not there tomorrow, I'm coming to your house.
So we will resume next week in Sunday class. Till that, as Prabhuji said, Prabhuji कहले आमे माने जो ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स करूछु तो आपण माने जॉइन हुंतु और प्रभुजी माने जो माने आसिलेनी 2-3 सप्ताह हेलानी 4 सप्ताह हेलानी तो आम जो लीडर्स माने रहिछंती अम्य कृष्ण प्रभु रसराज प्रभु धर्मेंद्र प्रभु आउ सिद्धार्थ प्रभु आउ बाकी जो तनुज प्रभु तो समस्ते तांको मानको फॉलो अप रे रिप्लाई करिवे ताकि आमे समस्ते बहुत सुंदर भाव रे ये संडे क्लास प्रोग्राम को आहरी बढ़े नहीं जुआ हरि बोल शील प्रभुपाद की जीवनाथ प्रभु की गोविंदे प्रसादम.
Did you hear what he said? Prashadam.